I'm gonna see if I can't get a date with her. See, my whole plan was, okay, to make her an STD, okay? It's an acronym.
For?
Something to do.
She was something to do. Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay?
That's a new one.
Cornelius says he and Shawn met on the job at a fast food restaurant. They became fast enemies when she ratted him out to the boss, but their hate soon turned to love. Now, after 20 years of marriage, Shawn says she wishes she'd never taken that trip down the aisle.
He was pumping his bicycle, following me down the road to catch me because he was angry.
She was slowed down, you know what I'm saying? Just let me catch up enough, you know what I'm saying? And once I got close enough, then she speed off again. And so go to the corner and wait, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like this, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the Wizard of Oz. She did. And you see the Wizard of Oz?
Their time together as a married couple has come to an end.
Yeah, it's hard to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, gradually I pulled the knife out of my heart.
Today, on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Shawn Eskridge and Cornelius Eskridge. Mr. and Mrs. Eskridge, the two of you have been married for 20 years. You've been together for 26 years. You have 2 children together and one from a previous relationship. You do not, however, want to be married anymore. Therefore, you are in divorce court. Mrs. Eskridge, you are asking for an item from Mr. Eskridge, and we will talk about that momentarily. But before we get to that, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Eskridge. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this relationship and why we're in divorce court here today?
All right, Your Honor, first of all, I want you to fasten your seatbelt, okay?
Are we in trouble, Joe? We just got started.
Your Honor, day one, the first day I met my wife,
Right.
she got me in trouble on the job.
How'd
Okay.
that happen?
I tried to sneak out, okay? She goes and tells the manager on me, I did not empty the grease trap, okay? So that started right there for me, okay? Revenge time. So I said, well, I'm gonna see if I can't get a date with her. See, my whole plan was, okay, to make her an STD, okay? It's an acronym.
For?
Something to do.
She was something to do.
She was gonna be something to do.
Okay, I got you.
Okay?
That's a new one. I never heard that one before. An STD is something to do.
Yeah. So, like I said, my whole plan, I went through, you know what I'm saying? I opened up my little black book, you know, as far as the men's club is concerned. You understand, Joe? You know, that, okay, I'm gonna pick her up, knock her down, and see you around. Okay? That was my plan. But once we got to talking, you know what I'm saying? I found out we had some things in common. You know what I mean? She seemed like a sweet person at the time, you know? So I said, okay, well, maybe we can be friends, okay? But as time went on, okay, I became incarcerated. I got incarcerated, okay? And I had no one at that time, okay? So she came to see me. And I said to her, okay, if you can stick by me through this thing, okay, I'll marry you. She said, okay. Now, Your Honor, during the course of that time, I talked to her in person, on the phone, in letters. And I kept reiterating to her, you know what I mean? If you're doing anything, please let me know right now during this time so that I'll have, you know what I mean, ample time to get over it before I get out of here. So anyway, Your Honor, she would never tell me. You know what I mean? She would never tell me the truth, okay?
Now, how do you know she was doing something? Maybe there wasn't anything to tell.
I'm gonna explain that to you right now.
Okay.
Okay. She was my Saturday love. That's what I called her.
Okay.
Okay. On this particular day that she came to visit me, she had that look of love in her eyes. I could see it, you know? And please believe me when I say this, Your Honor, I've seen that look before, okay? Because I have given it, okay? It was all over. You know
Well,
what I mean?
maybe that look was for you.
No. Your Honor, I said to her at that moment, you look like you just finished humping, you know? She couldn't answer me.
Mr. Eskridge, that is the weakest evidence of infidelity I've ever heard in here.
But, Your Honor,
and
it's a
I've
true
heard
story.
weak
It's
evidence.
true, Your Honor.
Mr. Eskridge, I got to tell you, we've been out here for quite a while now, and we're still talking about something that happened a quarter of a century ago. So we're going to be in trouble if we don't speed up this process a bit. Let me talk to Mrs. Eskridge for a moment. Can you bring me a little closer to today?
Closer. The reason that this story even bears any kind of weight is because we've been fighting about the infidel part for the last 26 years.
He's still angry about that?
He's angry about it because the guy who I admitted it to him. I didn't admit it right away because at the time that he was incarcerated, I was the only person who was coming to see him. I was his Saturday love, and I did not want to kill his morale while he was in there. But when he came home, now at the time I was 22, 23 years old. So at that age, with no children, of course I did not probably exercise the best in judgment. But where I messed up was I hooked up with somebody who had the same name that he had. And until this day, his middle name, that I cannot say until this day because it's a sore spot in our marriage.
You can't get over it?
No.
Your Honor, it's hard to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, gradually I pulled the knife out of my heart, you know what I mean? But
you had a young girl outside alone. You are in prison. She didn't put you in prison. She didn't do anything wrong. You did something wrong. You had her tied up and tied down to a guy who couldn't do anything for her and who's going to have trouble getting a job when he gets out because he's already got a felony on him. And she stood by you. She didn't have a baby on you. She might have just drifted for a minute, and you can't get over that. How small can you be?
I had stopped seeing the guy 6 months to a year before he came home.
I'm still trying to pull a knife out my back right now. You know what I'm saying?
There's
a quarter of a century. How long is that knife? I mean, really, it's
embedded. It's embedded.
It doesn't make any sense. I want somebody to tell me something that happened this decade.
Your Honor,
dare you.
Your Honor.
When divorce court continues, is Shawn responsible for the demise of this 20-year marriage?
She has ASS, that angry sister syndrome. She has it bad, okay? She's been swimming in that river of denial for so long, you know? And truly, she has diabetes, okay?
Diabetes?
Yeah, she's diabetic. You know what I'm saying?
Now that the kids are grown and on their own, is your longtime spouse getting on your last nerve? If you're ready to divorce, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Cornelius Eskridge, who wants to divorce his wife of 20 years because he can't forgive her for cheating. But does he treat her like he should?
She started gaining weight on me. I didn't like that.
He has a temper.
No.
What kind of temper does he have?
Well, let me give you an example. When it came down to, we had the two girls at this time. The one that was she was in the 5th grade at this time, and I asked him about going to her graduation.
We're talking about.
Wait a minute, this is just an example of his. Wait a minute, I just want you to see the example of his temper, okay?
All right.
Okay. What he did was he took my clothes, poured lighter fluid on them, lit them on fire. I got in the car to drive away. He was pumping his bicycle, following me down the road to catch me because he was angry. Okay, now I'm trying to leave. He's trying to catch me on a
bicycle.
Yeah, but Yana, see, and the tragic part is, see, she was slowed down. You know what I'm saying? Just let me catch up enough. You know what I'm saying? And once I got close enough, then she speed off again and go up to the corner and wait. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Witch in the Wizard of Oz.
And she did it too.
Yeah, she did.
She laughed and you see she got.
And if you've seen that scene in The Wizard of Oz, how that witch pedaling the bike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I catch up to her. You know what I'm saying? But I was like a damn fool. Soon as I swear to God, all I needed was a cape on that night. But I felt super stupid. You know?
But see, it was to calm him down, though. You know, I figured out that he'd get tired of pumping that bike. He would eventually dissipate.
That was worth all the terrible stories you told, Miss Eskridge. Right there, you paid your freight. Mrs. Eskridge, give me another issue that he fusses you about and you can't let go.
I've been told that I'm a coward, that I'm in denial, that I run away from issues. When I walk away from him in the middle of an argument, because we do have a child that's still at home with us.
Right.
So instead of us arguing in front of her, I will walk away. But when I walk away, I'm a coward because I won't stand there
and argue with them about something that happened a while ago. Mr. Eskridge?
But John, my wife, okay, she has, okay, and I just want to explain this, okay? You baked this cake, I just took a slice from you, okay? She has ASS, okay? Another acronym, okay? That angry sister syndrome, she has it bad, okay? And anytime that she is in denial about anything, I'll say, would you like a towel? You know what I'm saying? So you can dry off, okay? Because she's been swimming in that river of denial for so long, you know? And truly, she has diabetes, okay?
Diabetes?
Yeah, she's diabetic. You know what I'm saying?
She's a diabetic.
A diabetic. You know, you've heard of diabetics, diabetes. She's a diabetic.
I am not
Diabetes.
Tell me something. I mean, you got a lot of metaphors, you got acronyms, but I haven't heard anything that happened this decade. I want you to tell me something that your wife has done in the last 10 years that has brought you here today.
She started gaining weight on me. I didn't like that.
He likes to put me in my family. We have 7 females in my family,
Right.
And 3 men. The women in my family are large women. Now, I have told him before, do not call me fat because I have lost weight. I'm not a big woman.
She's not
okay. But to him, if I don't have a swimsuit body, I'm fat. Okay. I'm 50 years old. Swimsuit body, I can
That's
try.
old. Yeah,
but
old.
It's not gonna be like I'm 22 when he first met me. I can't go back there. I can lose it and keep it down and maintain it, but I can't go back to 22.
When divorce court continues, what happened at the Eskridge household to force the cops to come?
Who called the police? When I showed up, the police was there, but my husband has a temper.
Diabetes, John.
No, coming home.
Did you talk to the police?
Do you think today's couple can rebuild the trust and make their relationship work? Call 1-800-282-1991 now and vote to see if America agrees with your opinion. You will also receive some valuable offers.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court returns with the case of Shawn Eskridge, who says her husband's temper is ruining their 20-year marriage. But is he a cheater too?
He went into the hospital.
So he led me to believe. I found some old mail, had an address on it. Come to find out the address was across the street from the hospital. Knocked on the door. Who answers the door? Yours truly.
Mrs. Eskridge, I'm going to talk to you some more.
Yeah.
You say that you believe he was actually cheating on you when he was supposed to be out getting treatment on his
I
feet.
believe it. I know he was. I didn't know it at this time. What happened was he was supposed to have been going to the doctor's, the rehab for his feet and legs because he had issues.
Mm-hmm.
For a whole year, I would take him, drop him off at the doctor's office, drive away, come on back home. It wasn't until 2 to 3 years later, when we were supposed to move, that my buddy, Mr. Eskridge, disappeared on me again. And when he disappeared on me this time, well,
when you say disappeared, what do you mean?
I mean, he told me he was going in the hospital and that he would be gone for a while. But I specifically told him that on that Saturday, we were supposed to move. And it just so happened that that Saturday was our anniversary date, okay? The 25th of September.
So he went into the hospital.
So he led me to believe.
Uh-huh.
Because what happened was when I started investigating as I was packing up, I found some old mail. And the old mail had an address on it. And something, that intuition that women get that says, you know, something's not right with this because where the heck is this address at? Mm-hmm. Well, I went to go find the address and come to find out the address was across the street from the hospital. So what I did was I let the anniversary date go by. And that Sunday, after that Saturday, I went there first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock. Knocked on the door. Who answers the door? Yours truly answers the door. And when I asked him, why did you not come back for the anniversary? His response, How does it make you feel? Yeah.
He was paying you back
He
for
was
what?
paying me back because
what?
several years before then, we were separated. We were living in separate residences. I called him and I asked him, were we doing anything for our anniversary? Because we were in separate places. We was trying to
Trying to work it out,
Right, but
wasn't
we were
quite
still living
there.
separate. Now, the profession that I used to have, I used to be a mechanical inspector dealing with plumbing, heating, gas, and air conditioning systems.
Oh, you go ahead,
As well
sister.
as,
That's all
you know,
right.
like the sheetrock that goes up on the walls, and I could do contracting bids. Now, this guy that I knew owned some buildings, and he asked me, would I go with him to give him an estimate of what this was going to cost? I went with the guy, but as I'm leaving with this guy to go do this bid, he shows up. Tells me I'm going on a date. I told him I wasn't. He insisted that I was.
Did you know what she did for a
paid
living?
me back.
Yes, Your Honor, I knew what she did.
Do you understand that that would bring her in the presence of a lot of men because it's a male-dominated field?
But Your Honor, this happened, okay, at about 9 o'clock at night, okay? Now, if you're going to look at properties and stuff like this, okay, this is normally done during the daytime, okay? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not.
But here's the catch to that, Your Honor, okay? I hung around till they got back. Now, the remover showed up just as they got back, okay? Which told me, you know what I'm saying, that she knew it was a guilt thing, okay? And when I say removers, I'm talking about a gentleman like Joe here, okay? They showed up just as they got back, you know? And that
Who called the police?
I don't know because I was not there. When I showed up, the police was there. But my husband has a temper.
Diabetes, Your Honor.
Coming home.
Did you talk to the police?
A diabetic.
I told him there was nothing to be there for. I didn't know what was going on. I asked them why they were there, and they said they received a call.
Diabetes.
It is not no diabetes.
When divorce court continues, will Cornelius have to pay for his temper?
He was angry over something that had happened in the past, and he kicked the computer out of anger.
Miss Eskridge, did you do that?
Do you think today's couple can rebuild the trust and make their relationship work? Call 1-800-282-1991 now and vote to see if America agrees with your opinion. You will also receive some valuable offers.
Divorce court returns with the case of Shawn and Cornelius Eskridge, who are in divorce court to end their 20-year marriage, which produced 2 children.
Mrs. Eskridge, why don't you tell me why you're suing him for $344 for a laptop?
Because he was angry over something that had happened in the past, and he kicked the computer out of anger.
Mr. Eskridge, did you do that?
By accident, Your Honor.
By accident?
By accident, you know? So please understand that, you know what I'm saying? It was just a reflex thing, you know? Nerves.
I gotcha.
You know?
Nerves?
Yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? You know, bad
I had
nerves.
gotten
You know what I'm
normal.
saying? She's giving me
I
bad
got
nerves
normal.
over
That's
the years,
what it
y'all. I'm
was.
talking 25 years.
Do you have any proof of how much that laptop cost? You got nothing?
No, because it's in the shop.
It's in the shop now?
Yeah, getting fixed.
Did they give you an estimate?
It's only
a piece of
$150 for
paper?
the screen. No, I just wanted him to acknowledge that he did it.
Mr. Eskridge, and one last thing, make it a good one.
Your Honor, in my younger days, I used to be fantastic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was a good guy, you know, until I hooked up with this woman. You know what I'm saying? She has broken me down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, Your Honor, one thing I have learned in this life right now, okay, is that you have Scooby-Doos and you have Scooby-Don'ts. She does a lot of Scooby-Don'ts in my direction.
I got it. Mr. Eskridge, don't be a fool all your life. Don't. I mean, really, just don't be a fool all your life. You got a woman who stuck with you since she was 20-some-odd years old while you were incarcerated. She stays with you. She done put up with the bad metaphors, the bad acronyms, diabetes, all of this nonsense that you do. You never forget a slight. You're still mad about something that happened a quarter of a century ago. Can't get over it. Don't be a fool all your life. You better love this woman. I wish I could give you some money because he's just irritating, and I would like to give you cash because you live with an irritating individual and you can't get rid of him, but you didn't give me anything to give you with, so I can't do it. All I will say is best of luck to you. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
All right.